Lockdown, episode 6. Then we stick with surfing and we go all the way across to West Australia to speak to 2020 CT rookie and charger, Jack Robinson. Jack Robbo, how are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Unfortunately, no surfing in South Africa right now. We've been 4 weeks out the water. It's been firing. J-Bay has literally been on fire for weeks, and we can't surf, and it doesn't look like we're going to get in the water anytime soon. So you guys are definitely lucky. I know you were out in the water at the box today.
Yeah, we're allowed to surf here. They never banned anything yet, but it seems like we were quite ahead of the curve. So yeah, we've been lucky enough to keep doing what we love. So yeah, so I saw it was heavy in South Africa.
It's been looking like you guys have been getting some serious waves. I've had Travis from California and Brendan Gibbons from California. They've been getting waves. Geordie, Hawaii's been firing. He's been getting loads of waves. And West Oz looks like it's been pretty good too. I actually know someone who's up in the desert at the crazy left-hander, and they've been scoring waves too.
They've been getting waves up there. They would have got this swell that just hit us here. We had a bit of North Point and then surf box as well. Yeah, there's been waves all on the coast. It's been good. Well, I could probably get up there, but I can, because I have a letter that can pass through the regions, but I've just stayed around here because everyone's been locked down a little bit more.
Well, and I mean, no need to move when you've got good waves on your doorstep as well. And we know you love waves.
I know we got plenty of waves around here, so don't have to go anywhere.
Now, I spoke to Manny McGillivray this morning. We were going to try and get the two of you together, but on opposite ends of the coast. Of course, both of you are rookies this year. It's been a bit of a weird year to be a rookie, though.
It's almost been a good year for me because I'm getting more prepared. Instead of throwing straight into it, I haven't had a break for a few years, and then
that was Jack's girlfriend Julia in the background.
I'll go over here. She thought it was a call, audio call. All right.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. Everyone knows.
Yeah. Right. All good. No, you were good. Yeah. So the break. I haven't had a break for a while. Like this. And I haven't had.
Sorry, that's probably the highlight of the podcast so far right there. But because I was going to ask you about Julia later and like how good things are going, and then she just popped up to say, "How's it?"
I know. That's all good. She's funny. Don't worry. I've known Kai for ages. He's always commentates my heats in Africa. He's all right. He's a good guy. He's not a dodgy journalist.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But getting back to it, it's a good break actually. I don't mind this Corona vibe a little bit. Like I know it's not good for a lot of places, but like in terms of the break actually don't mind because I haven't had a break for a while. That's what I don't mind. Yeah.
Well, and I mean the nice thing is that a lot of you guys are still able to surf. I mean, the poor guys here stuck in South Africa again, like they can't surf, and that's going to be a disadvantage if things get kicking off because they haven't been able to train, whereas you have, and you're lucky enough that you've got 3 spots that are part of a CT event as well. But I mean, if we look at you being a rookie as opposed to say Maddie, Maddie's come up through the QS. He's had, I think, 2 CT heats at J-Bay as a wild card. You've got quite a lot of experience at CT level because you've been wildcarded on a number of occasions.
Yeah. And I feel like I've surfed against enough guys on the CT in QS events around the world to have a good understanding of it and what the highest level guys, how they are in heats, and had a lot of heats with quite a lot of guys, even when I was really young. So I think, it's not getting thrown straight into it. I'll feel good. I'll feel at home. That's what I feel like. So
Well,
Yeah.
and I suppose another aspect to look at is that a lot of the rookies haven't surfed some of the waves. Like Maddie was saying, he hasn't surfed G-Land. He's
Yep.
only surfed Chopu at about 4 foot. You know, you've
Right.
got a lot of experience at Chopu. You've got a lot of experience
Yeah.
at pipe and backdoor.
Yeah.
You've surfed G-Land. You're very comfortable in all those waves. In fact, I'm trying to think of a wave on tour you haven't surfed. It's probably Brazil. That's about it.
Yeah, I've only been to Rio, but I haven't been to Saquarema. But yeah, then there again, it looks like a really good wave. It's yeah, it's. I feel comfortable in all the waves, especially over the QS in the last few years. I've started to really have a lot of fun surfing all kinds of waves again. So I just feel like I'll be all round once we get on the tour. So I'm excited.
Now, a lot of South African surf fans are obviously looking forward to seeing you in action at J-Bay. You've come out to South Africa for a long time. I mean, you've been at the Belito event. Like you said, I've commentated your heats for a long time out there. Belito,
Yeah.
you know, quite different to J-Bay, but you've spent some time at Supers over the years.
I've had a couple of sessions there. Yeah, I've been down twice, I think, over the last few years, the last 5 years, while I was in Belito.
And yeah, I haven't got it really good though. But if we got in the contest and I had a real crack at it, probably love it. So yeah,
Well,
looks like I definitely like to go out.
Now, you've been doing a lot of traveling since you were pretty young.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
you've been everywhere almost. I know a lot of the guys asking questions are kind of like, Jack, once this whole lockdown is over, the tour's not started yet, where do you want to go first?
First place we're going. We're going to probably Fiji. I've never been to Fiji.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've never surfed cloud break. Only ever gone to Chopu. I've always gone past it when there's been swell at Chopes and there's been waves in Fiji at the same time. I'll always go to Chopu. But yeah, hopefully WSL gets Fiji back on 2020. Let's get it back on there. But I mean 2021. Sorry, thinking now it's not late enough. But yeah, hopefully they get that. But here in WA, I'd probably go to the desert first. If we get a good swell, but once the lockdown blows over, then probably head to Fiji, and once we can go on airports again, that'd be a good trip.
Yeah, I kind of have the feeling that you and Big Cloudbreak would be a match made in heaven. Like,
yeah,
you love your backhand.
Yeah, I love a backhand. Love getting barreled. So yeah, I haven't really got had good barrels in the last year or two, but I've been on the QS a lot and traveling a lot. So yeah, it'd be good to go and do a trip like that. Good surf trip.
Now, like last year when you were in Belito, we chatted about like Africa and traveling in Africa. The one spot we talked about was like possibly taking up to Mozambique sometime because there's lots of nice sand bottom right barrels up there. Is Africa kind of like a location that you'd like to spend more time and go exploring a bit?
Yeah, Africa's big on the list. I haven't even seen many animals in Africa. I want to go see all the animals first of all, and then I almost went to Namibia one time, but then we stayed for the comp. I think the swell might have gone a bit weird, and then we ended up staying in Belito for the comp, and I didn't do it. But yeah, I want to go check Mozambique out. All the coastline along there. I wouldn't mind seeing Africa. It seems like it's just, if you lived in Africa, you might never have to leave because there's so much coastline to see. So,
well, that's an interesting one because if you look at Donkey Bay in Namibia, which is another crazy wave that we know you'd love, you go literally across the tropics on that straight line and you hit the same piece of coastline in Mozambique on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's crazy light barrels in boardies, whereas Namibia's in wetsuits. So it kind of gives you an indication.
Lines up, does it? Pretty much.
Pretty much. It's like on the line of Capricorn, and they're almost exactly, if you look on Google, they're almost exactly sort of line up. It's a pretty crazy concept.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, well, it's wild. It seems like there's a lot of coastline to be explored along there. So yeah, and not. But you got to be careful as well. Probably, I'm sure. Maybe I'd have to come with you.
Well, that's fine. I'll look after
Come
you.
with the local. We'll be fine.
I'll look after you. I've wrestled
Yeah.
lions before. It's not.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Lions to worry about. It's all right. Don't worry.
Now,
We only got them in the water here.
yeah, well, I mean,
Oh, you got them in the water too.
it's an interesting thing because obviously a lot of people from overseas, South Africa is known for good waves, but a lot of people are always scared because of the whole great white thing. I mean, you guys pretty much share that one. I mean, you guys surf with.
Oh, we share it. Yeah. We share it. I think a lot of animals in Africa could definitely live here, though. I don't know. I wish we had a couple of lions running around here. Don't get me wrong. Be good. Couple of zebras. We definitely got the weather for it,
Well, maybe you can start Jack Robbo's Wildlife Park when the tour's finished.
Yeah, maybe after the tour, after 20 years on the tour, maybe I'll do that.
Well, I like that. I like that mindset because you're like 20 years on tour. I mean, that's up front. You've been competing since in your teens. It's taken you a while to get to the CT. And looking at last year, though, there were a couple of big changes. We saw Julia earlier. Julia came into your life. A lot of guys, it seems, when can get distracted by girls, she seems to have been a big part of the opposite for you and focusing you. You changed to Volcom after years and years and years with another sponsor. And it just looked like suddenly that little competitive light sort of switched on last year.
Yeah, just a big click. Just being myself, making my own decisions, just being confident mindset. That was a big change. It just changed my view towards things, I feel like. Not being afraid to go out and just own a decision that I was going to go and surf the heat or, do something else. Just going out there and, having confidence. Because before I would surf heats against guys and they might not be as good or they might be really good. And I would lose to guys like that. And I would be like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard. And then, it just felt like things clicked a bit more, just the confidence, everything. It all came into play. And, Julia was great. I had her there the whole, most of the events I had her there. And, we had a good time as well. So, made it happen.
Well, it's interesting because I did an interview with Geordie and Travis. And I asked them if they had advice for you and Matt for your rookie year. Right. And Travis's advice was pretty much when him and Geordie hit the tour, Travis was kind of checking it out, and Geordie went on with like, I can beat anyone here, and I'm going to. And Travis was like, be like Geordie, like don't go into a hesitant. And like we spoke about earlier, I think you've got that mindset already because you've surfed against most of these guys at a lot of the spots, and you've got that confidence. Geordie advice to you guys was he's not giving you any advice because he has to beat you.
It's the same thing over here, Geordie. Don't you worry. I've surfed against Geordie quite a few times as well in Hawaii and stuff. We always seem to have a few heats together just around, and it's even no matter if you've watched them growing up, no matter if you look up to them, you can't lay down and put your confidence in a bag. You know what I mean? Like you got to keep it with you, keep it the whole way. You don't ever doubt yourself going against guys that are really good. So that's probably what happens with a lot of people. They get on there and get a bit starstruck by things. But I know what I want to do, so we'll see. Everyone will see. So it's just believing in yourself a lot, I think.
Yeah. Now, we were chatting to Maddie about equipment and how important your boards are. You've been on the Arakawas now for a while, and I mean, it looks like they had a big part of your success last year. Like those boards are looking really good on your feet. They're amazing. I've been working with Eric for probably
11. Oh, first trip I went to Hawaii, I started ordering boards off him, and that was about 11 years ago. So yeah, we've grown over that time, and he's just been really supportive ever since I started going there, and from a young age. So he's had my back the whole time, and it's been great. He has a lot of knowledge, Eric. So it's always good to listen.
And then when the sort of bong thing ended, I mean, the thought that went into my head was that if I can imagine a brand that suits Jack Robinson, it had to be Volcom. And I mean, how did that all happen? How did they come to you? Did you go to them? What went down? Because I mean, since you've been on Volcom, it's just kind of accelerated.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I felt like it just that was funny how that everything just happened all of a sudden, like I was going in. So 2018 I got to Hawaii and I had a chance at qualifying, but I still had to make the finals. It was kind of, I think I was about another 25 spots behind what I was this year, and then I needed a result. I got a good result at Haleiwa. Then I went to Sunset, and I didn't make it there. And then, I went and we were going through stuff with Billabong, and then it all didn't end up, working out. But then I just was like, I'm just gonna go back to Hawaii, just go surf, just get back in the zone. I just need to go surf and just go. I know what I can do, so I'm gonna go and just do my job. And I was like, I don't care about what anyone says. I'm not gonna worry about it. If anyone's gonna tell me I'm not gonna make it, because there's always the doubters. So I was like, no, I'm going surfing. You'll see. And did the backdoor shootout. Then went into the pipe. Well, actually did the little sunset contest, and then went to the pipe pro with a good mindset, and came out with the win there. And then after that, Volcom, we were all getting ready to get things moving. So finally got it done after that, and it was good, really good crew over there. So
well, it must be nice to be on the North Shore with the Volcom house right there, and obviously the whole local crew. I mean, they've got a very strong presence on the North Shore. It's got to feel good when you're competing there, especially looking at like going into the Pipe Masters now. To have that support base right there on the beach is going to be a big advantage.
I know that house roars, doesn't it? When there's good waves of the contest is on, so it's a lot of support, and just a good crew. That's probably what it's about mostly, is just having people that you can trust. Don't always have many people around you, but as long as you can have people that you can trust, and they're gonna back you with things. So that's what you want in a brand.
Well, we can definitely tell you the Volcom crew here in SA are going to have your back when you come for J-Bay and Belito again. We'll get some of the crew down and make sure we're making as much noise as possible for you on the beach.
Oh, for sure. I know it's going to be good. It's going to be good to get back to Africa and come over there. I like Africa. It's good fun. I can't wait for it.
Now, with the whole sort of lockdown and Corona and everything else, last night the new CEO of the WSL, they released the new format for 2021, which is still up for debate and everything else, but essentially looking at more regional QS contests to get your qualification up to go to Challenger Series, and then from Challenger Series into the CT. And obviously, if you get knocked off the CT, you'll have that little window of the Challenger Series to try boost back on again. And my first sort of reaction to it was that I think it's a really good idea. And I mean, especially for our guys here in South Africa on a currency that makes travel a lot more expensive and hard. Having a regional African sort of pre-step makes sense.
Yep. It makes sense. I think it makes sense for every country. I feel like a lot of the events are at the wrong timing for a lot of guys, because like it's not cheap traveling around the world and going around the world 3 or 4 times a year. And for countries like South Africa is quite a long way from a lot of countries. Oz isn't always the closest, and then Brazil's far. So it's better that they have contests in certain regions. I always said it to them as well. I was like, why do we have one QS, then the CT guys will be here for another one here, and then they got to travel back to Spain or something and come all the way back to Tahiti. It doesn't really make sense to have guys running around the world. So
it's like a good call in all. And of course, I mean,
I think it's cool.
We're thinking, of course, it's not going to affect you too much because 20 years on the CT is what we're looking at.
No. I mean, but when the timing's right, I'll do a few of them.
Yeah.
So,
well, of course, you've got to come back for Belita. You have to. It's
I haven't Belita. I haven't done that well in Belita, so I want to do well there one day. But yeah,
well, I'm pretty sure if we have a day like 2011, you'll remember that year when it went absolutely just psycho out there.
I know, that was pumping, wasn't it?
Absolutely
crazy. Even this year was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like we always have good waves, but depending on the sand really and the swell, 2011 was a bit of a freak show, to be honest. I mean, it's not like that rideable at 10 foot that often.
No.
A couple of boys got proper hidings that day as well. I think they thought they'd maybe like woken up in Hawaii for the day. But I feel like Belita is always high performance, and it's always. I find also, obviously, with the first Challenger / 10,000, that whoever wins Belita generally qualifies for the tour as well.
I feel like whoever's going to win a 10,000 usually sets themselves up for. You don't really have to get too many results after that. A couple more and you're on.
Yeah. So, all right. So I've got some questions. There were a few of my hedonistic friends on Facebook that left questions. I didn't really give them too much of a heads up on this one, but Dean Vincent wanted to know, and I think it's a pretty good question. He says, for Jack, how influential has Matt Bremrose been in your qualification year? Was he coaching or managing you?
He was how do you say it? He is of course he's my team manager, but then he's like I want to find that word for it. He's he backs up a lot of my decisions really good, and is one guy that'll, if something's wrong, is gonna tell me. So he told me, he goes, I don't look at it like coaching, but he goes, I look at it as just giving you good just good feedback on everything. If he sees something and then I see something, we're going to work it out together. But it's not like even if I was in his corner and he was going out to surf a heat, he would hit me up for things, and then we would discuss it. But sometimes with coaches, you can almost get too worried about on what someone will say, and you go out and surf the heat and don't plan for something else that happens in the heat. And it seems like we were working good together. We're having a good time around the world, and it was just what support's meant to be about. It's just there's a lot of things that go into heat. So when you're there on the day, and just positive mindset.
Okay, now on another note, I've had a lot of questions on this one, and I don't think you're going to be very surprised. Essentially asking what it's like to be one of the members of one of the biggest Instagram couples in the world.
You can ask Julia that one. What do you reckon, Julia? She doesn't know, but I know. Yeah, I got some followers at the start, and then lost some followers. That's what I do know.
Boys are jealous.
Do you reckon I get followers off her? I don't get any more followers off her. That's true. I don't. No, I don't. No. Maybe Jack Freestone gets a few. I don't know. I got a few at the start, and then I didn't get too many afterwards.
You're getting the hate mail now.
Yeah. No, I didn't think I got some hate mail. Maybe a couple messages to her, but then, trust me, if anyone's thinking about it, you're not going to get that many followers. So.
That's good advice. Good advice. All right, so Jack, essentially, lockdown is still in full effect. I mean, my feeling really is this year is going to be a write-off. I mean, to start the year at the halfway mark is not going to make sense. They might run one or two events just to sort of get the ball rolling again. I certainly don't think there's going to be a world champion this year.
Right.
What is your feeling on the rest of the year?
Ooh, I mean, they want to see what happens. It just all depends on the governments and how much things are going to settle down. But from what I see with it, I feel like Australia, if we do get ahead of it enough, we could probably do something here. But then it's just if we have enough time to get most of it done. And when you want to get a world champion out of a whole year, they would want to do it on every event. And I just don't know if that is going to be possible, but we'll see. So I feel like we are quite ahead of it though. And if they did want to start something later in the year, if it maybe, whatever they did, they could probably do it. But
all right. And then any kind of word of advice or inspiration for us poor South African surfers stuck in lockdown?
What? So tell me, how long have they put the lockdown on for right now?
The initial one was 3 weeks. They then added 2
Right.
weeks. So essentially it's been 5 weeks of no surfing, which ends this Thursday, which is tomorrow. And then we're probably looking at what they call level 4, which is still no surfing. And then it'll go regional. So regions that have less infection may drop down to a level 3 or a level 2. And that's where things start opening up. And as you can see, we've got flies in South Africa too, not just West Oz.
Right, there we go. Yeah, it is pretty. We did break away from you guys, so it is the same. But yeah, that's
crazy. So they're in a level 5 right now. That's what the lockdown is. And so I don't know. Well, I did 2 weeks here pretty much, and the first 6 days of it I was getting pretty bored. And then after that, I started training, doing heaps of yoga, and then we were still allowed to go outside. So after the 2 weeks, we went outside, and we've just probably been lucky to go outside here. But just got to get through it. Like, keep busy, keep doing exercises. I feel like you got to stimulate the mind, read lots of books, do exercise, even if you don't like it. It's even though it's hard, if you have this much time, I'm kind of like, if I have this much time to be off, I'm fortunate because I can work on a lot of things and get better at a lot of things. So that's the way you got to look at it. If you weren't doing as good before, we're going to come out better after it all.
Yeah.
So
my last question is that a box of freshies behind you?
It's a big box of fresh boards behind me.
Ooh la la. Well, Jack Robert, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I know it took us a while to link up, but we understand because you were scoring good waves and as a surfer.
Oh, no worries. I went out really early this morning, and then I was caught out there giving everyone lifts in because no one wants to walk out of the box. It's pretty far. And then it was 11 o'clock, and I was like, oh no, I got to get back, and got stuck out there. But hopefully a few more days of it, and hopefully you guys can get outside too and do stuff soon.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. All our best to Julia for her cameo appearance. Thanks, Julia. And we're looking forward to seeing your start on the CT, man. I think it's long overdue, and I can't wait to see what you do.
It's gonna be good. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to South Africa as well.
Awesome, my man. Thanks so much, and we'll send you all the links for the podcast.
Thank you, brother.